This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm in Morecambe and I'm joined by Carl Frampton. Carl, firstly, how are you? How's life treating you? How's your journey over from Belfast?
I came in last night, got in the hotel late, an early start this morning, but this is my first time ever in Morecambe and it's alright, apart from a Wilder. No, it's nice. We went and visited a few of Tyson's kind of spots that he goes to and eats, and it's been good.
Those spots you want to recommend, or weren't you too keen?
There was an Italian place we went for ice cream.
First thing in the morning?
Well, no, so we had something else, another little place. I can't remember the name of them. So there's a little place that Tyson goes to all the time. Apparently, I had like crab on toast, outstanding, and then I had a Knickerbocker Glory shortly after that, which was nice too.
Carl, away from all the sweet stuff, obviously we're here to see Tyson Fury. I'm hoping there's not an announcement he's about to make, and it's just to kind of build up the hype for the Alexander-Usyk fight. As we draw ever closer, what's your thoughts on this undisputed bout?
Yeah, I'm buzzing for it. I'm really looking forward to it. As are, you know, the rest of the boxing fans throughout the world, the rest of the sports fans throughout the world. This is a monstrous fight, huge fight against, the two best heavyweights on the planet. Yeah, can't wait for it. It's been a long time coming though, but I think it just makes it even a bit more appealing with obviously the cut that Fury had and the delay and everything. I know people are pissed off at the time, but I just think it just adds a wee bit more to this fight.
Carl, with the cut itself, do you feel like that's something which you think Alexander might look to target, try and get it to open up, make him feel uncomfortable during the fight?
No, I don't think so. I think people make too much of a big deal about the cut. It happened quite a while ago. It was a big enough cut to kind of put you out of a fight, but it's not like Tyson suffered worse cuts in fights. You know what I mean? And they've been okay. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern for Tyson going forward. The only real concern was, would it be okay for sparring and stuff? Would it have healed properly and tend to give him enough preparation in the gym? But I imagine it probably was.
How do you actually think that Tyson approaches this fight? Because we've seen, obviously, as his career's developed, his style's evolved. How do you expect to see him try and take apart Alexander-Usyk?
Yeah, look, it's really changed, and people see Tyson as more of an aggressive fighter now than the kind of first version of Tyson. But then again, you look at I was really impressed with the Dillian Whyte performance, which was a number of years ago now, but I think it was really relaxed. He didn't do a lot in the fight. He threw one uppercut in round 6, and once it landed, that was it, game over. It was a really, really smart performance and something different than what we'd seen in the Wilder performances. So I don't think that's the style that beats Usyk against the Dillian Whyte performance that Tyson put in. But I think he has to be aggressive. Once he gets close, he has to lean on him. A bit like Klitschko used to do. He used to hit people 1-2s and grab them and push them down. I think he's going to have to be a lot more aggressive in this fight.
For Alexander, what's the route to success for himself?
Movement. Has to be movement. Targeting the body, but constant movement. And whether he can do that or not for 12 rounds is going to be the question. But I think I think both guys will know what style the other fighter is going to employ, and I think Usyk will be expecting Fury to be aggressive, which he has to be, and Fury will expect Usyk to move, which I think is his way of trying to win the fight.
Carl, fellow Irishman of yours, Cacace fights Joe Cordina on that undercard, goes in as the underdog, but do you back Cacace? Do you think it could be his crowning night on May 18th to become world champion?
Yeah, look, he has a real chance. I think Anto is probably, in my opinion, one of the unluckiest guys in boxing. Never really had the rub of the green, but now he's getting his big break. He's got it against a very good fighter in Joe Cordina, but no pressure on Anto. No one's really expecting him to win. But what I will say is his record doesn't really suggest it, and I've said this many times, but I've never been hit this hard in the gym by anyone else. Anto Cacace can really, really punch. And Cordina, I have suspicions the weight may be a struggle now, so Anto has a chance, more than a puncher's chance. And I've been talking to Anto. I don't want him to be one of these guys at the end of the fight to be saying, I wish I'd have done a bit more, which sometimes could be an issue with Anto. If he leaves it all out there, he's a really good chance of becoming a world champion.
Obviously, Carl, just whilst I've got you, there's some fights on the horizon I want to get your thoughts on, and a couple of fights I want to kind of throw out there. Anthony Joshua, there's a lot of talk about what is going to be next for him. We've seen this kind of resurgence, if you will, under the guidance of Ben Davison. Joseph Parker's called him out. Both of them at very different stages of their career when they first met, both on good runs. What would you make of a Joshua Parker 2 fight now?
Oh, I think it'll be a great fight. Like you said, I think that we can see the improvements that AJ's made under Ben Davison, but I think Joe Parker's probably the most improved heavyweight on the planet, and the stuff that he's been doing with Andy Lee is incredible. That's a really appealing fight for me. Yeah, that's one. While the boys are waiting on the winner of Fury and Usyk, that whets the appetite for boxing fans worldwide.
I mean, obviously, if we're sticking with the heavyweights, there's some fights which have been touted for that 5 versus 5 card. I was going to put to you Wilder-Zhang and Dubois versus Hrgovic. If those two do become true and are announced, your thoughts on both of them?
Yeah, both great fights as well. Wilder-Zhang is again like Zhang is the ability that he's superior, the more skilled fighter easily, but he can punch too. But Wilder's still got that dynamite, although he's very, very unorthodox. We've seen Zhang, he blows a bit, doesn't he, as the fight goes on longer. So great fight. Dubois-Hrgovic, I think the wee bit of adversity that Dubois had to come through against Miller will stand for him going forward in the future. I would fancy Dubois against Hrgovic. I'd fancy a few of the top boys against Hrgovic, if I'm being honest. I know he's a good amateur and he's been a decent pro, but there's just something about him that hasn't really impressed me that much. And I mean, AJ and Hrgovic, I think that's a fight that AJ should be chasing. I think he goes right through him, but I think Dubois is probably a favourite in that fight.
You have Haney-Garcia next weekend as well, Carl. A lot of people favouring Devin, a few of them actually suggesting and tipping him for the stoppage victory. What do you think goes down in their back?
I'm not sure. Obviously, we've seen a lot of madness from Garcia, and it'd be interesting to see what a state of mind is like going into the fight. I have Haney as the favourite. Quality fighter. Really, really impressed me over his last number of fights. Garcia's very fast hands, nice boxer. But I don't know. Just some of the stuff that's going on in the background, the things that Garcia says, I don't know where he's at mentally, and I think for him to beat someone like Devin Haney, everything needs to be perfect, and I'm not sure it is for him at the minute.
May the 4th, Canelo-Munguia. Again, Carl, your thoughts, please.
A great fight. Two Mexican warriors going at it. Huge fight, but Munguia is a good fighter. His record, like other Mexicans, like Canelo, they're in the 50s sort of number around the fights that they've had. But he's never fought anybody like Munguia. And although Canelo's probably kind of in the latter stages of his career, you still have to favour him in that fight.
We spoke about one undisputed bout on May 18th, another undisputed about 2 weeks later, a light heavyweight, Beterbiev and Beterbiev-Bivol. Who has the edge in that one, Carl?
Don't know. I have no idea. I think that's again a quality fight. One that I'm really, really excited about. I think Beterbiev, his strength and ferocity is something else. Strength in particular, like so strong, so tough, so rugged. Bivol's a bit more kind of fleet-footed, doesn't punch as hard. Great mover though. I don't know. I'll leave that a bit closer. I don't know who's going to win that fight. If you put a gun to my head now, I would probably favour Beterbiev.
I'm glad you made a choice there, Carl, because you're not one to usually sit on the fence and get splinters, so I'm glad you made a choice. But we'll leave that there now. Thank you for speaking to me. I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.